Okay, folks, welcome back to another earnings season top 10s. We're going to be looking at the top 10 losers for calendar year 2024, the top 10 earners for calendar year 2024. Sorry, not calendar year, that have reported for 2024 so far, right? We've got the top 10 losers for Q3 2024 so far, and the top 10 earners for Q3 2024 so far. So that's 4 top 10s, 2 annuals, 2 quarterlies. So let's just dive right into it. Boom, 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 boom. Top 10 losers reported for 2024 so far. Negative 8.5 billion for Walgreen Boots. Next up, Catalent, negative 1 billion. At negative half a billion, we've got Peloton, Lumentum, and Affirm Holdings. At a third and less, we've got Atlassian, Radius Recycling, Sear Entertainment, Acoustis, and Coherent Corp. So those are your top 10 losers for 2024 reported annually so far. Obviously, most companies have not reported in this period yet, so this will evolve quite a bit over the next 6 months. Now, top 10 earners so far for 2024: Apple at 94 billion bucks, Microsoft 88 billion bucks, Amazon 50 billion bucks. Now, as more companies report for their annual 2024, a lot of these companies will get replaced, but I don't anticipate these ones to be getting replaced, folks. Maybe Meta might knock one of them out. Maybe Google, I don't know. Kind of doubt it. But these are likely to stay. Maybe we'll see some big banks get mixed up in here, but I don't think they'll take the crowning 3 positions. Who else do we have? Procter & Gamble for 15 billion, Cisco Systems at 10, Costco at 7.5, Accenture PLC, Lam Research. I love Lam. I bought 2 rounds of shares from them following this most recent earnings report. So that's Lam Research, folks. Lam Research. See, they're down. I figured it would be a great time to buy. Okay, who else do we have? ADP, 3.8, automatic data processing. That's like payroll stuff. These guys are a pretty good company. They have a really solid presence in the business software. Same with Intuit, 3 billion bucks. It's great to see all these earners for reporting year 2024 so far. Top 10 companies with the highest losses for Q3 2024 so far, folks. We have Intel Corp with negative 16.5 billion bucks. Can you believe it? Let's talk about some of the problems Intel's been having. They released 2 generations. That's Generation 13 and Generation 14. So if your CPU is an i5, an i7, or an i9, and the next 5 numbers start with a 1-3 or a 1-4, then that CPU suffers from a type of degradation related to uncontrolled voltages. Now, from what I've managed to read retroactively, because I wasn't following this story in real time, Microsoft was very reluctant to admit there was an issue and was unable to provide a fix for a long time, like years. And in this business, years might, like, a long time is 2 years, folks. So what happened was, after several months or maybe a year of gaming use or whatever, a lot of overclocking and stuff like that, these chips would end up crapping out. And, people would experience program shutdowns or system shutdowns and stuff like that, especially when they were pushing the limits of their CPU clock rates. So Intel basically had 2 generations where every CPU was going to experience failure. Now, these CPUs have started to go through the warranty and return process, and Intel is paying them out. They had to extend their warranty. They had to double it, I think, from 1 year to 2 years or something like that. You guys should fact check this stuff if you're interested. Don't take my word for it. But that's a lot of money, folks. Like holy jeez, like 2 years worth of products that you basically expect to have to refund, like all of them. And there are people that, they're calling, they don't care if they get a refund or if they get a replacement. All they want is something that works. I mean, that's why they bought the chip in the first place, right? It's because they wanted something to do work with, or to play games or whatever. And so not only have they lost customer respect and trust, but the customers that actually are okay with the replacement, Intel doesn't have the parts to replace them with because they're all crap. And, it's not like they can just pull magic chips out of their ass, right? Like these foundries, some of them, they're finished. Like, they're not producing, right? Like, these are limited supply runs. They're not producing like i9 139K 100 KSs anymore, which is what I just bought. And for the record, anybody that's interested in this, there was a September 27th patch that is supposed to fix all the issues. So we'll see. I took a gamble and dished out nearly $700 for the i9 13900 KS. And now, if you're wondering why I went to that expense, and I'm also planning to upgrade my RAM to 192 gigabytes, it's because I'm experimenting with LLMs. So I have another channel that I do that with, and I have some productive outlets. But whatever. Next up after Intel. Oh, and they've also said, I read in one of their quarterly news, I think their most recent 8K or some news article, it said they haven't actually seen any of the CHIPS Act cash yet, so that's interesting. Next up, Boeing, another company that crapped the bed several times in a row. Who's up next? Mobileye Global, SiriusXM Holdings. I'm pretty sure Warren Buffett's really into these guys, SiriusXM. Willis Towers Watson, those are the guys in Chicago with the big black tower. Liberty Global, Constellation Brands, and I think that's the restaurants. Patterson, UTI, Lincoln National, Transocean. Okay, folks, dun dun dun, we're into the home stretch. Countdown, top 10 Q3 2024 earners so far. Alphabet with 26 billion. Oh, you know what? If that's reflective of their other quarters, they might actually take the crown. They might actually take the crown from Apple and Microsoft. Wow. Microsoft's in at 25 billion bucks for the quarter. Meta Platforms 16 billion. See? So Meta beat Amazon in the quarterlies. I wonder when they report if they're going to beat Amazon in the annual. Okay. After Amazon, we got JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Fascinating stuff. I just read some news this morning about Warren Buffett dumping JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo in favor of, what was it? Oh yeah, Chubb. Chubb Group Insurance. Man, I love Chubb. I can't tell you how many times I was almost going to buy them. They're a company that I chronically watch. Let me tell you something, folks. If you ever see Chubb trading below 1.2 book value anywhere near book value, just buy them up. Just like long-term buy and hold. Who's next? Fannie Mae, Procter Gamble, Comcast. All right. Well, that wraps it up, folks. If you like what you saw, you know what buttons to push. I sure would appreciate it. And besides, if you guys get me to 1,000 likes and some subscribers, I'll just keep doing these videos. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in.